Namaste, everyone. I'm Jenny, and thanks for tuning in. Make sure you hit that subscribe button down there in the corner in order to get content and videos and so on. Now, before I start this week's Cosmic Vibes video onto what is coming up for you guys, I am going live on YouTube. Set your clocks to Wednesday, the 30th of October at 12 noon Mountain Standard Time, 2 p.m. Eastern, or 11 a.m. Pacific, giving you all a Halloween clairvoyant free psychic reading. Now, in order to tune into that and have a free clairvoyant reading from me, subscribe to my channel, for goodness sakes. It's free. And tune in on that day and you can ask me a question. So I'm just saying, follow me on Instagram, Jeni Ji Cousins. I am out there, and that's the best place realistically to follow me at, and I will follow you right back. Goodness. Okay, so anyways, now this week's Cosmic Vibes video from the 12th of October to the 18th, again, it's a very powerful week. We have that full supermoon coming in Aries on the 17th. Now, supermoons, super full moons are double the amp, as I call it, right? I love super full moons myself personally. However, it can cause sleep off and such like that too. Now, this full moon, you're going to feel yourself getting pulled into different directions. This can be a very transforming moon for you. A lot of growth, a lot of spiritual growth, a lot of transformation. It depends where you're at and what you have dealt with. What was shown to you this past little while of where you were limited. So your limitations are being shown to you even more and more and more, as I kept on saying before. So if you have been dealing through that and resolving these conflicts, this super moon, full moon will work with you even more beautifully. It's a huge personal growth for that time. And you're going to find that, relationships, like even with this eclipse and such like that, the eclipse just ended. So relationship themes, how many of you have reconnected with someone, from your past or someone else? How many of you have felt that your relationship has now started to get closer? The bond could be very well forming. All of a sudden there could be engagements or marriages and such like that as well. This is the time when you were showing what truly needed to end. Like nobody likes to end a painful karmic relationship, or maybe the relationship is just over and done with and such like that. You're still going to be dealing with that this week as well. Endings. It's like, gosh, I know I need to end that relationship with my person. I just don't want to hurt them. It's just not going to work. All of these things. It's really important to address these situations, have that heart-to-heart talk with your person, let them know and be really, really honest. I mean, we can stay in a relationship for, of course, as long as we want, or unless our partner ends it for us or whatever like that. And you have to look within your soul and see, what direction do I want to work towards? Does my partner want the same things as I do? Are we continually struggling? There's relationship coaches out there, marriage coaches. If you're feeling really stuck, sometimes, we're like, what, I've done everything. The communication has been really, really off. We don't get each other. That's how misunderstandings start. And when the communication just goes away, problems create endings. It can create endings. So if you're feeling that your relationship has been struggling or whatever, take a step back and look at it. Are we on the same wavelength? Do we want the same things? Are we both headed in that direction? You really have to look at the reality of it and the whole scope involved with everything with that. And even new relationships coming in, like reconnections with people from our past or whatever like that, because your soul wants you to be more aligned with the right person in order to have a healthy relationship. Both people have to be truly ready at the same time and want the same things. And it's really important that you guys have even seen, as you've been clearing out and will continue to be clearing out just certain people you just don't connect with anymore. It's like, wow, we don't connect with each other anymore. And you don't have to end your relationships or friendships or anything like that. No, I mean, but you're going to see like, wow, I'm just on a different path right now, or my soul's pulling me this way, or my heart's pulling me that way, and so on and so on and so on and so on. You're going to continue going through this process as well this week too. So, just really take your time, really reflecting on it. It's really a transforming time. Like this is the huge year of transformation, as it is with the universal 8 year, the year of the dragon, and so on and so on and so on. This eclipse, like if you guys look back to May, see where you were then, look where you are right now. You have seen how far you've really transcended forward. Where were you then and where are you now this week? What have you ended? What did you resolve? That this eclipse spring has brought on a lot of major shifts, and as I was talking before about that eclipse and solar flares and solar storms, it creates a lot of havoc in the world, including the weather. Like look at Florida and such like that. I have a lot of dear friends down in Florida and such like that, and someone special, right? So it's like I was monitoring, okay, text me, like I was texting this person every couple hours, how are you doing, how's everything, and so on, until I lost contact with them when the power went off and everything and stuff like that. Like there's a lot of weather changes, a lot of weather changing. I think it was like, I don't know, a couple of videos ago, I can't remember, and I kept on saying shake and shake and shake. I was meaning to say the word snake, but I kept on saying shake because I kept on feeling shake. And, there's been recent earthquakes and such like that. Lots of different things. So the solar flares and solar storms, they do cause havoc, a lot of havoc. And the eclipse is always expect the unexpected with anything, like anything, right? It's like expect the unexpected. I'm like, okay, that can bring a lot of awesomeness, or that can bring a lot of, oh my gosh, a lot of sadness, or a lot of grief and stuff. So it depends with what you got going on and everything. And that's why I'm always saying be truly, truly, truly grateful for what you have. Be truly grateful for different people and experiences that you've had in your life, because life is so fragile, and and we have to really support each other in a really, really positive way. Whenever you need help, reach out. I mean, I even put a post on Facebook the other day that I was dealing with something, and I'm like, okay, guys, you know what? Does anybody can recommend or refer somebody? I'm looking for help with this situation. Of course. Why not? You know what I mean? Why wouldn't I do that? Right? I'm looking for recommendations for for help with this or that or whatever like that. Like, of course, why would you not do that? You'll see who your true friends are and who reaches out to help, and you'll see a lot of different things from it, and all kinds of things, right? So don't hold your pride back and your ego and do it on your own. Like I'm alone. I've always done things on my own. Yes, like I'm very independent and such. But when I do need help with something, I'm like, okay, who specializes in this area? Who can I go to that specializes in this specific situation or whatever like that? Hey, anybody recommend anybody that can help me with this? Do that. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. We all have experienced a lot of pain and suffering in this world. We have to support each other in a positive way. I see postings of people slashing and putting people down and such like that on social media, like right there out. And I'm like, I can't believe you actually said that. Like it's unbelievable. I observe a lot of different things, and I don't say anything. I just won't get involved with that energy or that drama or negativity. I just don't. Right. So you have seen that you have been wanting more peace. This week here can bring a lot of positive shifts for you if you are not running from situations, if you are dealing and have dealt with problems and solutions and obstacles. As I mentioned, I was losing sleep over the situation. I'm like, oh my God, I don't want to deal with this. But I know I have to deal with that. You can't run from situations. It will bite you right in the butt when you least expect it. So it's really important to deal with certain things. Very importantly, the super full moon will work with you. If you have been working with the energy and paying attention to what needed to end, or what you need to start. Your soul has been pulling you for quite some time into the new. Let's take advantage of this situation right now. And you're like, oh my God, I'm scared of moving into the new. And we can easily go into fear and such, but you're evolving. You're moving into a whole new life with things. Trust the process. We have no control over certain situations. We have no control. You only have control over yourself and how you behave, how you act, how you work through certain situations and such like that. Right? So I almost got another dog too, by the way. I almost did again and again. And I said, no, it's not the right time. Right? I do have my mind on a dog that came to me. I'm an animal communicator as well. And who came to me in spirit form and says, I'll be there for you. I'm coming. And he's actually one of the dogs that I'm 99% sure that I'm going to be getting, springtime next year, summertime, probably spring, but we'll see, right? Surrender, surrender, surrender. So it's important to deal what you have to deal with right now, your priorities, your challenges, and your obstacles and such like that. And you might even find on the 18th and 19th, especially after the full moon, that you're going to be like, oh, I need some rest. I need to pause right now. Oh my goodness. Because how many of you have had loss of sleep? I have. Like even right now, as I'm doing this video, I have been awake since 3:15 in the morning. Right. And I'm like, oh, I can't, because your energy and your vibration is rising. It's rising. It's rising. So I don't fight with the cosmic energy and the planets. I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, okay, I'm just going to lay here in bed. If I fall back to sleep, great. Yes, I would really like to. However, I don't fight with it. So I just eventually got up and I'm like, okay, time for coffee. Let's get on with my day. Chop, chop, chop. And then you'd be surprised of what you actually get done. And then you're going to have all this energy and stuff like that. How can you have energy? Oh my God. And I'm like, I know it's when you work with the vibration and the frequency of the energy of the universe, it works with you. That's why it's really important. That's why I do these cosmic vibes videos. What's happening this day, what to utilize, what not to utilize, and so on and so on. Now, there's also Thanksgiving time for Canadians. So for anybody celebrating Thanksgiving, happy gobble, gobble, gobble. Happy Thanksgiving. It's a time to be thankful and grateful, but it doesn't matter on the holiday. We should be thankful and grateful every day for where you're at, what you have. The smallest thing, like you'd be really surprised. I'm very grateful over the smallest little thing. Like, seriously, I am. I never take anything or anybody for granted ever, ever, ever. Really important. So now as we go into the 12th and 13th this week, you're going to be working through balancing things out a lot more. You're going to be like, I just want more balanced. I'm feeling, more accomplished, that I faced these challenges, that I resolved that issue, that I ended this situation, or that I started this, whatever it is. So this is why you're going to see this growth coming up. If you have faced challenges, if you have ended situations that you knew were toxic, or you ended situations that you knew that was restricting you or causing you pain and suffering when you're like, gosh, it's just not going anywhere. You're going to be speaking more with truth that day, more with integrity that day. And of course, you're going to see more truth coming out in the world. As I've talked about for forever, a lot of truth getting exposed. There'll be a lot more people in power getting investigated, and so on and so on and so on and so on. And a lot more shocking news is going to be coming out at any given time. So this is why it's really important to really try your best to stay away from conflicts, especially right now. Stay away from negative situations as best as you can. Like even my situation, believe me, I could have went full throttle right at the throat with the government, I might say, without going into details. But I'm like, you know what? This has to be resolved and settled. This is complete and utter bullshit. But anyways, but it's dealing with it in a calm manner. That the worst thing and the worst time to have the conversation with somebody is when you're upset, when you're angry. It's the worst thing, because then you could say things you later regret. And because there's so much more conflicts and violence, and so the world is as the truth comes out even more, there's going to be more violence, there's going to be more riots, there's going to be like more, all of these things. So if you're at war with anybody, doesn't matter who it is, try to find that peace within. It's like if you're struggling with somebody, you have to ask yourself, is this worth it to continue my connection with this person? Is it? Doesn't matter if it's family, friend, your spouse, whatever it is. It's really important to pay attention to that. If you ignore it, you're suppressing your emotions, which creates blocks, which creates new opportunities coming to you with lots of different things. So this is why this week can work in a really positive manner for you. It's like any negative situation that I have to deal with, let's say, we all have our good and bad or whatever. I'm like, oh God, I pause and I'm like, okay, what is this truly teaching my soul? What am I learning from this? And I always take a look at the positive that's coming out of it. Like even the situation that I just went through, I'm like, you know what? I'm looking at the positive direction where that is going. And this is where you can really take a look back at certain things and see where you are now compared to where you were then, and so on and so on and so on. Really embracing the positivity with it. I always do that. That's how I work through different situations and everything like that. And, it's like if somebody suddenly passed away, let's just say, no matter who it is, or somebody passed, I'm like, you know what? Of course it's sad and I'm grieving, all of those things. But I'm just so grateful for at least spending time with them, however long it was, and appreciating their time and appreciating, the good and the bad and the ugly and the lessons learned and the really good times and all of those things. And then it helps you heal through that. It helps you move forward with that. And you're also going to find, by the way, that, certain childhood memories you're going to be reflecting on this week. All of a sudden you could be like, wow, why did that memory come up whenever I was a child, or, a lot younger? Why is that coming up now? And it's going to be a lot of like more painful memories. It could be a lot more of like pain you went through with family, especially, and that, because your soul wants you to still heal from that and let go and reflect and so on and so on and so on. So this is why we get triggered. And whenever you get triggered, it's that opportunity to really embrace that. Okay, why am I getting triggered? Like, what is this about? Pause and say, okay, this takes me back to these times, which of course was, not so good when I was triggered or painful or betrayal or whatever it is. Let me really take time to meditate on that and reflect that and let go and heal. And then as you're working on that and coping with that and releasing and tears and all of that, Just visualize like a scar, a huge scar tissue going over that, because as you're healing from that wound or betrayal or pain, you start taking your power back. And this week is the week where you're embracing your courage more. You're truly embracing and taking your power back. You're taking steps forward. You're going to be working with the energy of the universe. If you don't, this is when things can kind of go poof, awkward a little bit. So it can be a powerful week for you, especially on the 16th. You're going to be like, you know what? I'm just really even reflecting more on lessons learned. Like what did I truly learn from that? What did I truly learn from, back in May? How far have I really transcended forward? What have I let go of? Where's my emotions now? How do I handle situations now compared to how I used to handle situations before? And you're going to be walking more into the unknown. You have been walking into the unknown. We have been walking into the unknown for quite some time as the world changes and everything like that, and will continue to change rapidly and rapidly and rapidly. So it's really, really, really important just to take time out for you, setting boundaries, focusing more on yourself. This universal 8-year is all about you, focusing on you. And you're going to find that some of you have already started to make like career changes. You're going to be like, I want to be more self-employed. I want to be more independent. I want to work maybe more remotely from home. I'm not happy at my current career. I really want to change that. And it's so important, as I've always stated, follow what you're passionate about, follow what you're really drawn towards. Maybe some of you are going to be like, you know what, I want to start a class now. I want to like learn more how to, do this, or maybe I need some more training, or I'm going to go the complete and opposite direction with where I am now. How many of you have done that? How many of you have made certain career changes with, this isn't working for me? I really need to pause and take a look at that. I mean, I review certain things myself and say, what's working, what's no longer working. And when certain things just aren't working anymore for me, I'll end it. Like we all have certain limitations and time frames and everything like that. And you have to go in your own comfort zone, of course, as well. So now the planets do affect our bodies. It affects your animals especially. Your animals are very, very sensitive. Really pay attention to that. So you might even find, like, even on the 12th, like your calf and your ankles and your shin area is a little bit, sensitive. Do gentle stretches. And you might even find your animals might be limping a little bit and such like that too. And even the 14th and the 15th, it comes down to your feet and your toes and your pineal gland and such like that. And even the 16th and the 17th, your head and your teeth area might be more sensitive with your tongue. So, if you notice some days that you want to talk, you want to say something, and it's like, why can't I say that word? Like, why am I stumbling, or why am I stuttering or whatever? Yeah, the planets affects your bodies and in different ways and such like that. Like even the 18th and 19th, as you're letting go of tension, you might find that, oh my goodness, my neck and my shoulders, and my throat. I'm just, like clearing my throat, or maybe your throat's a little bit more sensitive. So, and people are like, oh my gosh, what's happening? And even these solar flares, they're huge. They really affect your body hugely. They affect our planet, as I mentioned, with huge storms, hurricanes, earthquakes, like all kinds of issues and situations like that. And that can be the unexpected at any given time. It affects our body and your animals too. So don't ever forget about your animals. You can ask me certain questions when you join me live on YouTube here for a free reading, right? So this week, is is the best week when you embrace that courage. Some of you have resolved issues and walked into your power and walked into the courage and strength and like, I got to deal with this. I can't run from this. I just can't run from this anymore. It's not going to leave me. I'm just going to run away from it. I don't want to deal with this right now. Right. We all get like that. Right. But then we have to look at reality and we're like, oh my gosh, I have to deal with this. I have to. I don't have a choice. Right. So you got to look at reality, not the illusion or the fantasy. Start looking at reality with things, right? So you'll start to see that. You'll start to see that. And rewards coming in too, you guys. Rewards are coming in, like things are fast paced, things are moving very quickly, like boom, 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 boom. Some days I get up and I'm up early and then it's just nonstop, nonstop. And I'm like, oh, I got to catch my breath. Like, oh my God, right? Like, oh, yesterday it was like that. And I'm like, oh my God, okay, now I just gotta like sit down and just been on the go the second I woke up and oh my gosh, my gosh, my gosh. So, just try to avoid conflicts and really just embrace these new beginnings with courage and being optimistic and very positive and such like that. Always do that because your soul has been bringing you into the new. We always get signs. Pay attention to your dreams. When you're waking up and such like that, there's been more messages coming through from your loved ones and your guides and angels as well. So now I'm going to pull a couple of cards as well to see what the collective has to say with this. I don't use cards when I do a reading because I'm clairvoyant. It's like, clairvoyant. I read into your energy and such like that. But because we're on YouTube here and I'm doing collectively, yeah, I'm going to pull a couple of cards and some of you will resonate with it and some of you will not resonate with it at all. So let me know if you do resonate with it. Sometimes as I'm pulling cards, I start getting messages coming through and I'm like, okay, here's a message for somebody. I never know what to expect, right? For those of you who know me, all of a sudden I'm like, okay, I got this message coming through. Boom, 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 boom. So I'm going to pull one from my crystal decks. I love crystals, of course. This is one of my decks. Daily Crystal Inspiration by Heather Askinoise. There you go. Make sure you guys clear your cards. And by the way, too, on the full moon, crystals, make sure that you can put them outside so the full moon energy helps clear them and rejuvenate them, or on a window ledge or something where the moon energy is coming in. And card decks as well. You can do that with some of your card decks. I have like over 60 decks myself. So no, I don't put my decks out. So I only use them for videos pretty much. Okay, so what is the message here? Ruby. I'm hearing the crystal ruby for somebody. I have a beautiful ruby ring myself. And actually, I bought that ruby ring when I was going to England. First time I was going to England, see my family, and after my sister had passed away there. And I was at the jewelry store, I was getting passport photos and such, and next door there was this jewelry store and there was a beautiful ruby diamond ring. And I bought it. I'm like, oh my God. But I'm hearing a ruby coming through for someone specifically. So if you were considering getting like a ruby, emerald, diamond, or ruby crystal and such like that, this is for you. There's different qualities in that ring and elements and energy. So watch your ruby come out in the deck. But anyways, okay, so October 12th to 18th. Okay, and I'm actually, I just had little problems breathing there a minute ago. Somebody, a grandmother, I'm hearing breathe, breath, something, or a mother. Pay attention to that. So 12th to 18th of October from our crystals. October 12th to 18th with the message from our crystal world. Ooh, labradorite. Labradorite. See the magic. Absolutely. See the magic. We have the blue and the yellow. That's of course a sign of the Ukraine and such. Maybe some of you are drawn to the color blue and the color yellow as well. So how many of you have this crystal? If you take a look at it, it does kind of look like, like water. Maybe it's represented around Florida and such like that, with the yellow, with the dryness to bring in, like I was doing a lot of prayers for the vibrational frequency of the hurricane to calm down the vibration to low. That's the energy I was sending out in prayers for Florida. So go with the crystal that really resonates with you, and make sure you clear it when you get it too. Any new crystals that you get, make sure that you actually clear the crystal. So let's pull a couple of cards here from this one here. Okay, what deck is this? Ancestor Spirit with Jade Sky. This one. Clear your cards before you use them as well, by the way. What is the cosmic message from the 12th to the 18th? 12th to the 18th. Cosmic message from the 12th to the 18th. Honor the deities around you. Prayers, offerings, and help. Wow. Look at that. Look at that. Honor those people around you. As I mentioned earlier, be grateful for certain people in your life. Be grateful for experiences. Maybe some of you are going to go get like a certain deity, like I have like, different statues at my place, like Buddhas and Ganesh and things like that, so it's really important to gravitate towards what you connect with and what is sacred for you, right? Certain crystals, that's my deity, Jeni. Right? Like we all see that in our own way. Some of you very well have been healing and letting go of other lifetimes. I also do past life akashic records too, to help you understand what's going on with your relationships and who you were and your life events and so on, and how to also work through that. So what deities are you guys drawn to? I just go with the flow and such, right? Like, so let's talk about soulmates. Let's talk about love. Let's talk about twin flames. Let's talk about endings and beginnings. Oh, deck, hold on here. Whispers of Love, Angela Hartfeld. Here's the deck. Really beautiful deck. I just love the artwork in here. It's just, there's so many gifted, talented, creative people. And that's why we all have our own, abilities and gifts and unique talents and such like that. And, and some people could just be, let's say, an artist and just things down, and somebody could say, wow, I always encourage other people to follow their passions and their inspirations, and support other people. Even when I had my television show at Shaw TV television studios here, I would have people on, I would book people on and support their business. Okay, share what business you have, how can people contact you? What is your business about? Because I like to support and help other people move forward and shift forward in a positive way. And it's just really sad when I see other people really slashing people down and getting jealous of other people's success. Like, why would you be like that? Why? I don't get that. Especially the world and what everybody's been through. Wouldn't you rather see people being happy and succeeding and finding peace within and being able to go out and purchase things without going to a food bank or without living on the street. Like, it just really bothers me. That's why I just observe there's drama and I ignore it. I've really pulled back on Facebook hugely for quite some time because it's shocking what I see on there, as you've all probably seen. I'm like, wow. So this is why you're also going to find that you're going to be drifting away from certain people because you're like, you know what, that person doesn't support me. They completely ignore me, or, I just don't get that anymore. Like all of those things, never wish them like any unhappiness or whatever. Oh, they're going to face karma and so on. Just don't even go there. Like we all have our own journey and path and walk to walk on, lessons to learn. Don't, put others down. Just wish them the best and continue on your own journey. That's why I set boundaries and, keep more to myself and such like that with situations, and just surround myself with more positive people and all of that, right? Okay, so it's a message from the 12th to the 18th of October. It's a message, 12th to the 18th. Woo! Grace, grace, finding that peace within, allowing things to flow with ease and grace. Look at how she's looking out into the universe, observing. Look at how she's reflecting on everything. When I meditate, I just, there's many different ways to meditate. We can go for a walk in nature, which is really calming and very grounding. I connect with all different energies here and in the afterlife and so on and so on. And, like sit on the moon type thing, look at the world and the earth and see where it's going. And I observe and I keep a lot to myself and thankful for my journey, the reflection walks of life I've met and so on and so on and so on. And when it's our time, we pass. And I mean, the only thing I'm really looking forward to when I pass is seeing the people who I truly love, meeting them again, and especially my dogs, and being with them again. So, it's just, she's really in this card, really looking out. And I mean, even this card is hard to see with this screen, but it shows different animals in here. It shows Mother Nature. It just shows she's very cosmic nature graced and such. I don't know if you can see that or not, but taking the time out for you is so crucial. It's so crucial. So crucial. So crucial. I turn my phone off a lot, actually. Well, I mean, I turn it on mute, I should say. And because sometimes you get slammed with a lot of messages coming in, and it's like I just got to mute it. And then I always get back to everybody, of course, but it's just like, no, I need to set boundaries. I need to, so go on at what works for you guys, right? Oh, wait, here's the box. Wait, I'm going to pull another card here. I just felt really compelled to do that. Magical Mermaids and Dolphins, Doreen Virtue, of course. Doreen Virtue has some amazing decks. Amazing decks. So let's see what is the message. The 12th to the 18th. It's a message from the universe. Yeah, of course. No surprise here. Make a decision. Feeling stuck or indecisive? Listen to your intuition and make a decision. Like this week, as I said, what is this week about? Embracing your difficulties, embracing your limitations with courage, opening up new doors. This can be a really, really positive week for you. A really, really positive week for you if you really are embracing change and making change happen. You know, as I've always said, the only thing constant in the world is change. That's it. That's it. That's the only thing that we have any guarantees on in life with is change. Nothing else. Absolutely nothing else. So it's really important, and even start writing down, okay, what do I need to change? What are my obstacles? What do I need to end? Start just writing it down and be very, write it down. Don't worry and go into panic and fear mode about it. Just start writing things down one step at a time and really take a look at what is my priority? What is my priority task I have to deal with today or this week? You know what I mean? And then start doing it. Start reaching out for help. Start working on that to make it happen. I mean, what I went through, believe me, I can tell you what, but I couldn't run from it. I had to deal with it. Don't even get me started on it. I'm going to a rant and rave. However, really focus on you, focusing on you. This is, like the universal 8-year. It's all about you making these changes. Your soul wants you to move into the new. You want to book a reading with me, soulworkwithjeni.com. And how many of you are going to tune in to the live show here to get a free clairvoyant reading on the 30th during this Halloween season? And who knows, I might get really festive and wear a Halloween costume. But how are you going to know if you're not watching? So make sure you subscribe to my channel. Please like my channel. It really helps me build up. It's taking forever and forever and forever. Patience, surrendering, I'm just saying. And, let me know what you guys are doing. Let me know what you're working through. Let me know what you've let go and so on and so on. And just really pay attention to what karmic lessons you've learned, what karmic situations you want to end, no matter what it is. What is toxic around you? What truly is not working? Embrace your power, step into your courage. This is a week of positive change. Let's make it happen. Namaste, everyone, and thanks for tuning in.